Let's take a look at Property Manager again by editing the Cut Extrude. Notice here at the bottom we have the feature scope settings. Using the first option, All Components, any component present in the assembly will be affected by the cut. By using the Selected Components option, you can then choose which components will be affected by the cut. Here, for instance, I'll right-click on one of the components in the list and delete it. You can also add and remove components from the list by selecting them in the Graphics area. At this point, I'll click OK, and you can see the cut no longer affects one of the components. The other option you should be aware of is the Propagate Features to Parts checkbox. As we saw in an earlier lesson, this assembly feature only took effect in the assembly. When I open one of the parts in its own window, you can see the cut does not exist. I'll return to the assembly, and this time, I'll check the box to propagate the assembly feature to the part level. This time, when I open the part, you can see the cut does in fact exist, and the feature is listed in the tree with an external reference. One more thing you should know about assembly features like this cut is that they are time-dependent. What I mean is that the cut is affecting this assembly as it exists right now. To illustrate this point, take a look at what happens if I add another component to the bottom of the stack. The newly added component is not affected by the cut. If your intention was to cut through the new component, you don't have to create another cut. Simply edit the existing cut and add the newly inserted component to the Feature Scope window. For those of you that work with large assemblies who are always looking for ways to speed things up, let me explain this Auto Select option. When checked, this option will make the cut feature regenerate faster when it's edited. Solidworks assumes the scope of the cut is limited to the original list of selected components when it's edited. This means that if you change the size or shape of the cut, Solidworks will only rebuild the affected components and will not have to analyze the entire assembly to check which components should be updated.